All right, we'll bring this meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this has been asked a few times, but I guess tonight's the first night we're going to do it. From Beckley Presbyterian, we got Pastor Monte Mitchell, who will lead us in prayer. There he is.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council members, Ms. Worley, and other city employees. I am the pastor of Beckley Presbyterian Church, where Ann is a member, and she was the very first person I ever talked to from Beckley, not just the city of Beckley, but from Beckley. It was evident to me how much she loves this city, and so I very much appreciate her inviting me here on her last regularly scheduled meeting as the interim city manager. When she was appointed, we had a prayer for her, that she would be blessed with wisdom and service, and we trust that that prayer has come true during her time as the interim city manager. So we'll pray now again, if you would. Would you join me in prayer for our invocation? Well, God, we do thank you for all things. May your wisdom and spirit of love and grace guide all who seek to lead. And we thank you for the service of those who have worked to make the city a better place. We pray for those who will continue that legacy. And we acknowledge that all good things come from you. And may our part in your world never be part of the problem, but provide help and solutions that serve others well. We ask your blessing on this city, that it might flourish, that it might be a place where people are respected and supported and nurtured. And we ask your blessing on each person here. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. All right, first item on the agenda is a reading approval of minutes for the November 12, 2024 regular council meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented? So moved. Have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion or any questions from anyone on council? No? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. So moved. Thank you, council. Next item is the receipt of bids for D-Lab grant demolition of 322 Neville Street and 324 Neville Street. So now I will unseal the bids. How many did we get? 4 of them? Is it 4? Is it for both properties or is it individual? You know?
Should be for both properties.
Okay. So the first bid is from Astor Oilfield Services, and let's see what they got as the amount. It looks like for 322 Neville Street, it's $49,350, and the same amount for 324 for a total of $98,700. And I'll pass this over to Jessica if you can help there. Thank you, Sherry. This one's from Empire Salvage and Recycling, and they just put a total estimated cost for both properties at $87,717.97. This one's from Reclaim Company, LLC, and it
looks like the same thing. They just combined them together for a total amount of $205,280. And the fourth and final bid is from Tom's Tear Down and Takeaway. He put each one at $42,500 apiece for a total amount of $85,000. Again, that's Tom's Tear Down and Takeaway. So I'll pass this one on. Again, these bids will be reviewed by Chief Code Enforcement Officer Captain Morgan, 2 council members at large, interim recorder treasurer, and that'll be awarded at a future date. So, moving on to the next item, second reading and public hearing of ordinance authorizing City of Beckley to accept donation of real estate located in the city identified as Survey Lot 1, Block 20, Beckley Court Edition. Mr. Fowle, you talked about this briefly last city council meeting. Do you want to add anything?
No, basically this is just a donation of a small lot. It's described as surface of Lot 1, Block 20, Beckley Court Edition, and it is from Ms. Dilly, Jennifer Stump Dilly. This property is adjacent to other property the city of Beckley owns, and it's also adjacent to the basketball court out there off of Antonio. And so at this time, I will read the ordinance by title and then open a public hearing to see if anybody has any comments. This ordinance is titled, Ordinance Authorizing the City of Beckley to Accept the Donation of a Parcel of Real Estate Located off Antonio Avenue in Beckley, Raleigh County, West Virginia. And at this time, I'll open the public hearing and ask if anyone has any comments either in favor of or in opposition to this ordinance. Appearing to be no comments, I'll close the public hearing. Mayor.
Okay, very good. May I have a motion to approve the ordinance as presented?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say nay. Okay, thank you, council. Next up, second reading and public hearing of ordinance authorizing the city to enter into Pine Crest property agreement with Raleigh County Commission, title agreement for transfer of real property interest. Again, I'll turn it over from Mr. Fowle for more information on it.
Thank you. Yes, tonight is also the second reading of this ordinance. This ordinance was approved 2 weeks earlier on first reading, and this is regarding the property that's out at Pine Crest Industrial Park. And this is the agreement of the term, between the City of Beckley and the County Commission on the terms of the transfer. The city has already agreed to transfer the property, but this is setting forth an agreement. The council has had for at least a couple of weeks the agreement to review. The County Commission has approved this, and this will be the city's second reading, and if approved tonight, the city will be in position to enter into this agreement with the County Commission. This ordinance is titled, Ordinance Authorizing City of Beckley to Enter into Agreement with Raleigh County Commission regarding terms of transfer of Pinecrest property. And I will open a public hearing at this time and ask if anyone has comments either in favor of or in opposition to this ordinance. Yes.
I think there's a lot to be learned about this transfer of the Pinecrest property. One being that transparency needs to be number one in any processes concerning what we do with our property and with our money, with our contracts. And I would hope that this council would continue to implement things that would make these processes more transparent to the public. And it would definitely be appreciated because then we can participate. And that's what democracy is about, is participating in local and federal government. Second of all, I hope that the county commission will consider doing something for these track and field students that have come and spoke and literally begged for a place at this property. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any comments they would like to make, either in favor of or in opposition to this ordinance? Appearing to be none, I'll close the public hearing. Mayor?
May I have a motion to approve the ordinance as presented?
So move.
May I have a second? Second. Is there any questions or comments from city council?
I do have a comment, Mayor.
Okay.
I want to thank the students, the coaches, the community. Thank you for writing letters, advocating for the preservation of the most unique cross-country course in West Virginia. I'm proud of the students' perseverance. They saw civics in action. I would bet that someday those students who spoke so eloquently will be on a ballot someday to be a part of their community governance. We gave it our best shot. I'm proud of them. It didn't go as we expected. I'm hopeful, I'm cautiously optimistic that the county commission will understand the importance of the cross-country course. Thank you for those that took the time to come and speak. We heard from you. Thank you to the 400 people who signed the petition wanting to preserve the cross-country course. And I want to make it clear that my advocacy for the preservation of the course was because I felt that that was the right thing to do. And it just is a coincidence that the coach happens to be my first cousin once removed. Yes, my name is Sherry Barbera Hunter. I'm proud to be a Barbera. I've been a hunter for almost 45 years, though. But thank you for everyone that advocated for the team and for the course. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. You're welcome.
Anyone else have anything? Okay, we'll take a vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay.
Nay.
So moved. Thank you, council. All right, moving on. Public hearing and adoption of resolution authorizing the city of Beckley to lease real estate identified as 213 South Canal Street, Beckley, West Virginia, to Piney Creek Watershed Association. Again, I'll turn it over to Mr. Fowle.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, tonight is the only reading we will have of this resolution. What this does is this will authorize the city of Beckley to enter into a lease with the Piney Creek Watershed Association. They are a not-for-profit corporation here in West Virginia, and they have asked if they could lease the second floor of what basically was the old fire station on South Canal Street. The address is 213 South Canal Street. The terms of the lease would be $1 a month, and that basically is what it amounts to. It's a property that hasn't been used for some time, and we are entitled to do this through a resolution because we have adopted a prior ordinance that authorizes us to lease property to not-for-profits for reduced rates. And we are entitled to do that for $1 to this not-for-profit. So that is what the resolution is. There's a lease attached to the resolution. I don't know that it's necessary. I'll read the primary part of this resolution. It just says, now be it hereby resolved by the Common Council of the City of Beckley that the city is authorized to enter into the attached lease identified as Exhibit 1, in which the city as lessor leases to Piney Creek Watershed Association, Inc., a West Virginia nonprofit corporation lessee, the second floor property identified as 213 South Canal Street, Beckley, Raleigh County, West Virginia, for the term of 1 year at the monthly rent of $1 and for other terms and conditions that are set forth in the lease. Mayor, I'll pass that on. Well, first, what we need to have is a public hearing on this. And I will open a public hearing and see if anybody has any comments or questions or wants to discuss. Yes?
I'd like to make a statement, okay?
Please do. And please identify yourself, if you would.
Yes, sir. Hello. My name is Nate Sidner. I'm the executive director of the Piney Creek Watershed Association. With us also are board members Gary Moorfield and Tom Lemke. and previous executive directors, Danielle Stewart and Jim Fetters, all of whom over the last 20 years have been instrumental in the success of our organization. We're pleased to be here. We're very much looking forward to this opportunity to take over this space. I love that building. It's got a little bit of a Ghostbusters feel in there. Gary has been instrumental in the trail building out at the Paul Klein YMCA Memorial Ball Fields out there, and he works out of that building as well. And we've been longtime partners with the City of Beckley, West Virginia University Tech, the Raleigh County Commission, the Health Department, the BSB, and so being able to have an office centrally located to all of those partners will help us collaborate in a variety of ways. And I'm happy to answer any questions that either the community at large or any council members have. But I'd like to take just a minute to highlight a few of our recent projects that we're proud of. Over at Woodrow Wilson High School right now, we're about to start breaking ground on the second phase of that project. If y'all remember, there used to be that pond out front, which we successfully were able to get grant funding to turn into a wetland, so that water is cleaned and also doesn't, I know that this was before my time, but the high school was experiencing some problems with the goose population there, I do believe. And now the second phase of that is we've just opened successful bids last week to get a contractor on board to build a boardwalk into that wetland so that the students at Woodrow Wilson can have more access into that wetland, and then that'll develop more educational opportunities for them to kind of engage in that project, what projects like that are about, and how they affect our mission, which is essentially to protect and preserve the water quality within the Piney Creek watershed. Some of y'all might have seen the stormwater detention pond is being built over at the convention center, in between the convention center and the Little League fields. That project is nearing completion as well. We just got to put a valve in there, and what that's going to do is essentially hold back those floodwaters that flood those ball fields and the adjacent neighborhoods that come off of the parking lot from the convention center there. We've built several other stormwater detention ponds over at the, or rain gardens, we like to call them, over at the BAF, over off Kanawha Street, and then as well, the first phase of the convention center is that upfront water retention garden there. We've got multiple other programs throughout the region. One that I'm particularly proud of is our wastewater improvement project in the Piney Creek Highlands, kind of the headwaters up there, where we're putting a bunch of grant money into septic remediation, whether it's pumping or replacing or installing septic tanks. We have trout in the classroom programs at now a new one at Coal City Elementary, Daniels, and also at Woodrow Wilson. So we've got a variety of different ways that we kind of attack this mission. And another thing that we're particularly proud of is we've recently submitted a grant project with West Virginia University Tech, one of their biology professors, to remediate 2 different lots that they possess, one of which is just right down here, immediately adjacent to South Kanawha, across the street from their biology building. So we should hear back from them by the end of this month. If that comes through, then we'll be in lockstep with WVU Tech for the next 2 years. We've also got them and their biology department and their students committed to volunteering with our water monitoring program, which there's about 24 different sites throughout the Piney Creek watershed all over the city of Beckley, and some different environments where we do quarterly water monitoring to keep track of what's going on in those watersheds. And that's just a few of the highlights. We've got a few other programs in the past that have been completed successfully, like Crest Elementary School. We did a stormwater detention pond there. So all that being said, that's why, that would be proud to take the space and it has been, as it was mentioned before, kind of sitting there vacant for quite some time, and that myself and Jim would likely be taking over some office space in there, and we'd be really excited to bring that building back to life a little bit. And that's about all I can think of. If anybody has any questions or comments, of course, I'm happy to answer any at the moment. Or of course, we're easy to find online. Our contact information. We're happy to engage with any community members on any level.
Good job. To get rid of the geese.
Yes, ma'am.
How were you able to get rid of the geese?
That's a good question. I think that the main thing is once that pond was drained, and then the wetland grasses and reeds were put in there, they just don't have a space anymore to kind of huddle. Now where they went, who knows? They might be over in Grandview somewhere, or over at Little Beaver. They might have just relocated locally, but they're not there anymore.
Fifi, what street you live on? Good job, man.
Appreciate it,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, thank you very much.
Does anyone have any other questions or would like to make any comments regarding this resolution? Yes.
Christina Basin, I just would like a copy of this lease if one is available. Thank you.
Yes. Anyone else? If not, I'll close the public hearing and turn it back to the mayor. Mayor?
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Fowle. With that, may I have a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, so moved. Thank you, council. Moving on to number 7, resolution for a one-time pay supplement for all full-time city employees. This would take effect 12/6/24, and at this point, I'll turn it over for a little bit more to Jessica.
Sure. Currently, we have 254 employees that are full-time, and this pay supplement is already budgeted in for this budget year. It would be run about $215,000, taxes and all. That's what I know.
Anybody got any questions?
How much is the pay supplement?
So is that the same amount across the board for everybody?
Yes, and it was the same amount as last year,
And how much does that break down to per person?
$850 a person.
That's full-time. What about part-time?
Historically, haven't done anything for them.
All right, very good. May I have a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion, debate? Okay, great. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. So moved. Thank you, council. Next up is reappointment of Dr. Kurt Robert to the Beckley Building Commission. And this term would be expiring on 12/31/2028. May I have a motion to approve the reappointment of Dr. Kurt Robert to the Beckley Building Commission?
So moved.
Is there any questions or comments from anybody from council? Okay, great. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Okay, so moved. Thank you, council. Next up is reappointment of Sandy Sheetsley to the Board of Zoning Appeals, and this term would expire 6/30/2028. May I have a motion to approve the reappointment of Sandra Sheetsley to the Beckley Board of Zoning Appeals?
So move.
May I have a
Second.
second? Any questions or comments from anybody at council? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say nay. So moved. Thank you, council. Next up is the appointment of the Beckley City Manager to the Fayette Raleigh Metropolitan Planning Organization Board of Directors. May I have a motion to approve the appointment of the City Manager to the Board of Directors for the Raleigh Fayette MPO?
So moved. Second.
Second.
Anyone have any questions about that? Okay, great. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. So moved. Thank you, council. Next up is the appointment of Ann Haley Donegan to the Beckley Housing Authority Board of Commissioners. This term would expire on June 30th, 2029. May I have a motion to approve the appointment of Ann Haley Donegan?
So moved.
Any questions or comments from anybody in council? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Great, thank you, council. Next is appointment of Matt Morris to the Beckley Planning Commission. This term would expire June 30th, 2028. May I have a motion to appoint Matt Morris to the Beckley Planning Commission?
So move.
Second.
Any questions, comments from Matt Morris? Great, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. So moved. Thank you, council. Next item on the agenda is old business. Does anyone from council have any old business?
I kind of do. It goes back to I don't know if it's under old business or new business, about Piney Creek Watershed. I mean, I was there when they started. I mean, it's good to see Danielle here and Mr. Fetters. I was with the Chamber of Commerce for years. But back to the lease, who would pay the utilities on that?
The city is going to be responsible for the utilities.
Okay.
Any other council members have any
I-
old business?
I would just like to recognize this lady in the back. She has given some tickets to the Nutcracker, to our new city manager, and to our mayor, and she is with the Beckley Dance Theater and Beckley Performing Arts. Would you like to say anything?
Just that I hope if you have
And it kind of puts you in the Christmas spirit, does it not? So I met with Jerry Rose last week, and I asked him, I said, are you ever going to retire? And he said, when I'm dead. But he told me this is the 34th year that he has ran, and that's pretty impressive. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the tickets. Thank you very much. Anybody else have anything?
Thank you, Carol.
Old business?
May I ask a question about those? How much are they?
I think it's like
The tickets, last year they were 15, but this year they raised to $5, so it's
$20.
And I think if the child is at the age that they sit on your lap, you do not have to raise.
Yeah, it's awesome. Nothing else? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Anybody from council have any new business?
Mayor, I have some.
Go right ahead.
Michael Boland. Board of Public Works has worked so hard picking up leaves and bringing them to the Solid Waste Authority. I want to thank the employees. They've worked diligently. Thank you so much. And Chief, congratulations on the new officers that just started with Beckley PD. Congratulations to them. You're welcome. And we also want to always thank Mr. Epling. Doug, tomorrow is Mountaineer Food Bank's mobile food pantry for the general public. The truck arrives at 10 o'clock. Food distribution is from 11 to about 12:30. And I want to thank everybody that's ever come to help with the distribution. Tomorrow will be the last one for 2024, so we expect to have a lot of people there. And Mountaineer Food Bank says this all the time, that they wish they could have a parking lot like yours at other locations all over the state. So thank you, council members that have always helped with Mountaineer Food Bank. So tomorrow is that mobile. And always remember, the second Friday of every month is the Veterans Table mobile pantry, the second Friday of every month for the veterans. Thank you, Mayor.
I think Councilwoman, I almost said Barbera. See, you put the words in my mouth. Councilwoman Hunter asked for volunteers. If anybody here has a free hand tomorrow, we could use more help. How many did we do at Veterans Table? Like 300 households?
375.
So we can use more hands if you're
You know.
available tomorrow. Distribution starts at 11. Be there.
10 o'clock, the truck arrives from Braxton County at 10 a.m. Yep. Thank you, Natalie.
Anyone else got anything?
I just, one thing that I seen that I think is Jill had sent it out on December 3rd, next Tuesday at 5:15. We're doing a big, I think it's the first time we've done it. I believe it's it's the first time since I've been on council. It's a Christmas lighting ceremony at Word Park, and I think that's something I would really like to see, our Christmas stuff grow, decorations and stuff downtown.
Next Tuesday, correct?
I just think, having just being a kid driving through town, seeing the lights and the trees and stuff, and having the big lighting on Tuesday, I think's going to be really awesome for the community. And if you haven't heard about it, now you have, and it should be a good time. I believe next Tuesday at 5:15 it starts. And then I also want to say I was really happy the way meetings started this time for prayer. That's something I personally have asked for since I've been on council, to bring it back, and I think that was a good way to start our meetings, getting the faith communities within council working together, and it just it's a good fresh start to it, and I'm looking forward to our new city manager starting. It seems like it's been I guess over a year of wait, so I think we're going on the uphill slope finally, and we're ready to start rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, Joe, I was going to call on you because it's such a busy schedule for Beckley events, and I was going to see if you wanted to talk about the Christmas lighting at Word Park and what else is going on.
Thank Public Works and Parks and Rec for doing all the decorations. Thanks to Public Works and Parks and Rec for putting all the decorations up. If you have to go down to the exhibition coal mine. Leslie's not here tonight, but be sure and go down there this weekend or the first weekend in December. The Appalachian Coaltail Christmas will be fabulous. They've got the ice skating rink there already. As you mentioned, next Tuesday we're going to do a tree lighting ceremony, just something brief. I know it's going to be cold, but it's like 5:30. We're going to have Mayor Ryan flip the switch, light the tree up.
Can we
and
practice
then,
first?
You don't want a grizzly
I don't want to be
ball.
the grizzly ball. All right, test it for me.
WVU Tech culinary program is going to give away some hot chocolate. Captain Les and the Salvation Army is going to lead some caroling, and then if you want to go in and see the beautiful decorations at First Baptist Church right there across the street, that'll be available, a free tour of that. And then, of course, the Christmas parade is that Saturday, December the 7th, at 11 a.m. Getting a lot of entries in on that, and so there's so much going on. You just follow our pages.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you. One other thing that came that we noticed is the second city council meeting date would actually be on Christmas Eve. So, Mr. Fowle, I was going to ask you if is it okay to? I mean, I don't know if you all want to be here on Christmas Eve. But,
I make a motion.
Is it okay to take a vote to cancel that one? or-
Absolutely. You can actually just announce it's canceled unless anybody objects.
All right, there we go. It's canceled. You're off the hook. Go spend it with family. Go ahead.
If anyone missed Wonderland of Trees this year, you missed something spectacular. Interim city manager Ann Worley was there. There was a bidding war for the first tree, and it went back and forth and back and forth, and the tree was donated by Terry Skeens and her family, and it was embellished with her mother's ornaments from Gone with the Wind. The tree went for $4,000. $4,000. But that wasn't the only bidding war. There were bidding wars with Richard Jarrell and his good friend Alan Lett, Dr. Stewart, Dr. Copenhaver. But at the end of the day, I want to tell you, Jeremiah Johnson and what he does for our city, he's a rock star. The tree was unbelievable. Black Knight Municipal Park looks unbelievable. Santa is actually on his sleigh. I mean, Santa's arrived in Beckley already. And due to, there are 44 nonprofits under the umbrella of the United Way, and our good friend Trina Dasel, the executive director, and Lori Cuthbert, they work so hard. But the community comes together, and they come together, and guess what? They surpassed the goal last year. So all of those 44 nonprofits are going to reap the benefits. So thank you, City of Beckley. Thank you, Jeremiah Johnson. It was a magical evening, November 22nd. That's all I have.
No, it was good. It was impressive. We got to go out there, and I think they had 41 trees. So, yeah. Anyone else from council? Okay, we'll move on to public comments. Just remember, when you come up, state your name, your address. Keep it to 3 minutes. Jessica will call you out if you don't. I'll call you out, but she'll let me know when there's 30 seconds left. But, I think the last city council meeting, it just seemed like it was such a positive attitude, and the people that even spoke, it was almost refreshing to hear how positive things were. But with that, I'll ask Mary West to come on up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mary.
How are you all?
Good.
Everybody seems like they are in the spirit of giving. Please give me some speed bumps. I'm having to call downtown and get somebody down. And Chief, do your cars have radars in them? Because apparently they don't. They start up at LaRue and Earhart, and they fly down LaRue right by my house, and then they stop by the time they get to Worley because your cars are sitting there. So something definitely needs to happen. There has been speed bumps there before. So what would make it so hard to have them there again? Every time I get ready to back into my driveway, these idiots are flying off the hill. Sunday, I backed into my daggone garage because they was coming so fast and I was trying to get away from them. So, please help me down there on LaRue Avenue. I have come here so much begging I don't know. And I've been treated like a red-headed stepchild just because I dyed red. That don't mean I'm nobody's stepchild. So please help me. Because see, Robert Dunlap had the speed bumps donated for LaRue. But, of course, previous administration wouldn't even let them put them in. Now, somebody please tell me, why is that so important not to have something down there for the safety of the people? If you ask his officer that was down there today, a young lady almost got hit going to her doctor's appointment walking. And she had to jump over in somebody's grass. That's not fair to the citizens. I pay taxes just like everybody else. They adds up and looks the same way. So can I get some help, please? And I would appreciate it. And Chief, go to Stratton and get my sign and put it back, please, and I'll thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mary Wells. Next up is Gary Boland.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I was born in Beckley Hospital, which is no longer there. And I'm very proud to live in the city of Beckley. And thanks to y'all. I appreciate it, because y'all do a right good job. It's a good, clean city to live in. I'm proud of it. I've been working really hard on these bicycles, and I've got some good news for you tonight. But I want to let you know that today, at age 74, I finally hit middle age, because I was just too young to worry about it and too old to care, because I wore out, but I did get a lot of good work done. I want to try to explain to you a little bit of what I'm doing. I'm working on bicycles from itty bitty, and today I got a bicycle that's 29 inches high. It's even got those big high bars on them like this, built for big old fellas. Now y'all got to remember that I got bicycles from itty bitty. Now let's start with all the different parts on it. It's wheels. You got your rims, your tires, your the tubes that go inside of them. They're all the different sizes, so I have to have parts for all that. And it's the handlebars, the grips, the pedals, the brakes, the seats, the cables, the gears. I got to clean them, oil and grease. I got to have all that around me, as well as the different tools and the sizes of tools and everything around me. So it's not just standing there with the bike stand with the bicycle up there just fooling around. I'm moving. I got lots of room I need to work off just for one little bicycle. But the good news is I got 28 bicycles that I gave out to the Salvation Army, and they were practically new, didn't take a whole lot to it, so thank y'all that you're going to bring 28 smiles to children.
I love
in
it.
Salvation Army. Hold on, I ain't done yet. This coming Tuesday, the VA medical facility down here adopted 6 children. So on Monday, I'm delivering 6 bicycles down to the VA.
30 seconds.
We got 3 bicycles, adult bicycles, that we've got for 3 veterans, that were homeless veterans that's got jobs. So now we're going to be able to provide transportation for these 3 homeless veterans to be able to get to work.
That's awesome.
I got 21 bicycles that we're going to be able to give out before Christmas for Raleigh County and Fayette County. We got 5 bicycles set up for St. Stephen's for their program down at St. Stephen's. And as long as God's given me the ability to put one foot in front of the other, I'll be there tomorrow morning still working on these bicycles. Now for the bad news. I need to get $1,000.
Thank you, Gary. It's 3 minutes. Sorry. I hate to cut you off at that point, but yeah, we got to keep it at 3 minutes.
I think I left about a minute or so on mine.
No, we got to move on. But Gary, I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, and that is good news. You can tell us the bad news afterwards.
Can I ask, Mr. Bowen, where are you working out of now?
St. Stephen's
Okay.
Episcopal Church.
Okay. That might give me a little leeway tomorrow when I talk with that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that's not a lot of space.
Hey, Gary, talk to us after it's over.
Yeah.
Next up, Debbie Carter.
is Deborah Carter, and I'm a resident of G Street. I just wanted to let the council know that thank you very much for the paving. It was done today, done in a very timely manner. It looks fantastic. The resident I'm in, I've been there for 40 years. My parents were there, and it's been a long time since the street was paved. And they did part of it for the new school. But it's finished. They came today, they did it, and they did it in a timely manner. I want to thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Public Works.
Danielle Stewart.
Thank you all for allowing me to speak today. First, I want to say thank you for the support for the Piney Creek Watershed Association now and in the past. This has been a long time coming, and it's such a great thing. And it's not just the facility rent, it's also the fact that they can use that as matching funds in order to get additional grants. Any nonprofit will tell you those matching funds are really, really hard. On to some other things. I want to thank you all in that transfer agreement for taking care of the kids. It was really the Little League kids, because as you noticed, the Little League had been operating there for years and years. I mean, I played there when I was 8 without a lease, but they got taken care of. Just want to point out that the board of directors included Mr. William File III. I think that's our city attorney. So it's good that those kids got taken care of. Just wish y'all could have taken care of the other kids. Did have a question also on that transfer agreement. One of the things that I noticed is that in the new agreement, there's no outline about who composes the Pinecrest Architectural Review Committee. But there is a line in there that says things from the past will continue to be honored. Meaning that, the way I read that, the city has to still appoint 2 city council members to serve on the Pinecrest Architectural Committee. Really interesting too, because there's nobody on the county on that committee. I wonder if that was an oversight, but you know, that was one of the things that I asked you all to do, so I'm going to assume that it was done on purpose, to make sure the city still had a voice in reviewing all the stuff going in to there. Lastly, my road's all torn up, Glen Avenue, and I'm not here to complain about it. I'm here to say yes, finally, because Mountaineer Gas is there. They are putting in new gas lines. On the flip side of that, Beckley Sanitary Board has been there 3 times as well, fixing their sanitary, the sewer lines that the gas company keeps breaking as they're doing it. But it goes back to something that I've talked to you all about before, and that is the need for the city to have an infrastructure development committee, somebody that could coordinate the efforts. I mean, imagine how much better it would have been if the water company and the gas company and the sewer company all got together and just upgraded the whole neighborhood. You're already paying to dig it up. It would make a whole lot more sense that if it had been coordinated to take care of everybody at one time and really set that neighborhood up for the next 50 years.
30 seconds.
Instead, 5 years from now, the sewer company will probably come in and tear it up, and then 5 years after that, it'll be the water company. So I encourage y'all seriously to create this infrastructure committee so that you all can work with all of these organizations to come up with a plan for improving our infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. Tom Mosley.
I think I have enough of this to go around for everybody. I know we have talked a lot about a safety committee, and this is some great ideas called traffic calming. It originated in Europe, and this will even make you happy, Miss Mary. There's a lot of things here that, like, we've got rumble strips, okay? There's raised humps in certain areas that slows traffic down. There's different median places because people don't read, okay? People don't read speed limit signs. They don't pay attention. And we have families and children out there. They're in danger daily. So these are some ideas. We haven't upgraded our streets per se in the last 20, 30 years. So if we can implement some of these ideas and start putting them into place, we can stop some of the traffic. We can get a safer city, and we can all be a lot better off for it. So if you guys would review this at your leisure and look at it and see what you think, I think you'll see some wonderful ideas.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, thank you.
Last up, Aretha Van Horn.
And I live over on LaRue Avenue as well. And after this gentleman spoke, I almost feel like I don't need to say anything else, because I was just going to ask, I know there are petitions, and I know either we could petition for maybe another electric sign on the street. Like I said, I know those signs kind of catch your attention. I don't know if it costs too much or whatever. And also the strips would be nice too. Either the bumps in the road or the rumble strips, I don't know. And I know emergency vehicles may have to cross through there, so I don't know what the reason is. And then I was gonna say, if we have to do a petition, is there a magic number that petitions are or are not accepted, so that we don't spin our wheels doing something that is not going to be effective or efficient anyway? And so, and I'm just asking, like, is there, or do you just do petitions and hope for the best? And I'm not trying to be...
No, I get that, because Mary West and I talked about that. If you would ask your neighbors, like, what percentage of your neighbors would actually want speed bumps on their street? I know people fly down my street too, but that's the last thing in the world I would want is speed bumps on my road. But that's just me. I don't know how...
And maybe low grade. It doesn't have to be one that
Right.
tears your vehicle apart.
But I'd say it wouldn't hurt if you talk to your neighbors and ask them if they really wanted that.
Mary
And
West,
then I guess you could take it up with Public Works.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
Mayor, did you already have them to sign a petition? Do you still have those signatures, attorney file?
Should have.
Which?
The petition that Mary West had turned in. I'm not sure exactly when it was.
It was, what's this one? Whatever. I've been here so many times until I don't remember, but I still have a petition there. At least I've seen one for the 15 mile an hour and all of that. And I still have all those signatures. And I gave every one of them to Roy. So, Mr. Fowler, you don't have them?
I'm sure I do. I haven't looked at it for a while.
Okay, will you please look for them?
I will.
And I think I still have my copy too, so.
Okay.
And if we would need to do that again, I mean, we would do that. Just something to keep the neighborhood safer. And it's through a lot of Beckley. I see it when I'm in different communities.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that was just all, but this gentleman's information seemed to be pretty effective and efficient. That's all I have. Thank you.
Like an insurance liability, is that part of it?
I know we got like a Westwood and stuff like that.
Thank you, by the way. I didn't know you was finished.
Her kind of always wants to be,
Yeah,
tear
that's-
them out, unless you got kind of.
Yeah. Mr. Fowle,
We're going to executive session.
Our speed bumps themselves isn't the problem that those are an insurance liability?
It's a safety issue is one of the main reasons that the city has been hesitant to implement speed bumps.
But there are now those like rubberized rumble strips. I have no idea how costly that would be. I'm sure it's not cheap, but there are so many things that could be done to calm traffic. Narrowing streets. That's what part of this is about.
Yes, there were speed bumps there before. It wasn't a liability until you all put that light down and make it a speed road. That's when everything changed. Took out the speed bumps, that's why I brought my home. So please.
I'm sure Mr. Rosario is going to have some good thoughts on this, and we'll
Right.
look forward to him coming in and giving his opinion on it.
Okay, so next up, may I have a motion to go into executive session?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed say nay. All right.
What's with you two? What are you two planning? Some kind of coup or something?
Okay, may I have a motion to go back into regular session?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you, council.